Now let's look at rational exponents. First of all, an explanation. When I say rational exponents, I mean it can be written as a ratio or a fraction. So when I say rational exponents, I mean exponents that are fractions. Okay? So the notes are going to be short for this. It's a relatively simple process, but you're going to combine it with prior knowledge. So let's start off with an example to show you what we mean by a fraction exponent. 4 to the 1/2 power. That's a fraction exponent. Now we can rewrite fraction exponents as roots. Square root, cube root, fourth root, something with the little radical symbol like this. And our rule is that we're working on, we take whatever this bottom number is, and we put it right there where the index is. So the bottom number for the exponent goes right here. And then the rest of it, 4 to the 1 power, goes under the radical. It goes in that radicand space there. So if I simplify this, this is the same thing as the square root of 4 to the 1 power. And remember, if there's no number right here in our little root thing, we understand that it's 2. It's kind of like if there is no exponent, we understand it to be 1. So if I simplify this, I can actually just write it as the square root of 4. And the square root of 4 is 2, so I could just say it's 2. Now let's try this again with 16 to the 1/2 power. Now you rewrite it. Rewrite it with a radical. As you rewrote it, you should have gotten the square root of 16, which is equal to 4. And that's actually it. So what about if we start the other way around? We can start with a radical instead of a fraction for my exponent. So for example, I might have something like the 6th root of z to the 5th power. If I want to write this with a fraction exponent or an exponential form, I'm going to take this base z and write it right here. I know I'm going to have a fraction exponent because I have this little root symbol here. And with my fraction exponent, I'm going to take this number 5 and put it on the top of my fraction. And this 6 goes on the bottom of my fraction exponent. So it's z to the 5/6 power. And just a couple more examples. Here are a couple of ways to write the same thing differently. Let's say I have 32 to the 3rd power. Inside parentheses and outside, that's being raised to the 1/2 power. Now, remember from our exponent rules, what I would do here is multiply these two exponents. So I would multiply 3 times 1/2 to get the 3/2 power, or the 1.5 power. Let's leave it as a fraction. I can take this and rewrite it as a radical. So when I rewrite it as a radical, the 2 goes right here, and 32 to the 3rd power goes right there. This is the square root of 32 cubed, or the square root of 32 to the 3rd power. Either way, we can write it that way. And we can use our calculator to find out what is 32 to the 3rd power. But again, we're just focusing on this rule for now. And those are our basic ideas. Just one more, just a little bit more involved. Let's just say I have 18 to the 12/7 power. Actually, I'm going to rewrite that a little bit differently. Sorry. Let's say I have 18 to the 2/7 power, and that's going to be over 18 to the 12/7 power. Now, remember our exponent rules. We're going to subtract the exponents. So top exponent, 2/7, minus the bottom exponent, 12 over 7. So that gives me 18 to the negative 10 over 7 power. Now, I can rewrite this with a positive exponent. I could write it as 1 over 18 to the 10 over 7 power. And if I want to write it with a fraction exponent, I could also write it as 1 over the 7th root of 18 to the 10th power. We can simplify this and work with this further, but these are the big ideas for right now.